live. I think I gotta wait a second. Okay. So welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. I had a general question again, which was how to buy investment property. Very general. I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to give you some possible ways to think about. Um, so number one is what do you want to do with the investment property? Is this something you're going to hold that you want to get rental income? Or is this something where you want to do short term, like what I do, where you want to buy something, maybe assign the contract, or or buy it, fix it up, and sell it, that kind of thing. But the answer is how to buy it. First, you got to find it, and that's really the hardest part of my business is finding deals. The key that people don't understand is that finding deals where sellers will sell you at a discount is not easy, and you're not going to find them on the multiple listing service. That's not how it works. So, what I do is I spend most of my time and money on marketing directly to sellers who are likely to sell and basically asking them, are you interested in selling? That's what I do. I send mail, I make call, I have people calling for me, I have text, all kinds of different ways to find those people looking to sell that maybe have some reason why they don't want to go through the traditional method of listing. And the truth is, I do take listings also, so sometimes those people end up being listings. Now, what's important to understand is that once you find a property that's at a significant discount, and you should not buy investment property that is not at a significant discount, and we'll talk about why if you stay to the end. Um, at that point, you need to get financing for a big portion of it, usually. But if you have the cash, then there's nothing to talk about. If you have the money, you probably wouldn't be wondering how you buy investment property. You're going to need to put up, let's say, 20 to 30% of the purchase price, and you can finance the rest. So if it is a regular property that has enough income, and you can get traditional financing and your credit's good and you show enough income to qualify, or it's enough income from the property to qualify, they'll usually take 75% of it if it's a 1 to 4 family, to help you to add that to your income. Then you can go about that way, and you can go to any single lender out there, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase. They all are going to land on investment properties, 1 to 4 families. Um, they're going to want good credit. They're going to want you to show enough income that you can show to repay the loan. Again, they'll give you some of the rental income to add to your income, but you're going to be considered the primary source of repayment. If you're buying something that's not residential, like an office, medical, hotel, something bigger, or it's 5 units or more, then the property itself is going to be seen as the primary source of repayment. And really, the most important thing is how much net operating income the property has. So they're going to look at the gross rent, they're going to subtract any expenses that the owner has, and they're going to take some kind of allowance for vacancies and allowance for management and allowance for things that maybe aren't being paid, but they're going to assume it might be paid. And they're going to want to see that cover the debt, the loan, you need you need a debt service coverage ratio of like 1.2, 1.3. It has to be. So, example, if the payment is $10,000, they're going to want to see that the net operating income is 12, 13, $14,000. They might also want you to have good credit, but you're not seen, the borrower is not seen as the primary source of repayment, the building is, right? And it gets complicated if there's vacancies, right? Do they count that income? Do they not? It's not so simple. And every lender is different and it's more complicated. And it's an expensive loan to get. But if you're residential 1 to 4 family, then you are in a different world. You are seen as the primary source of repayment. Now, when I buy investment property, I tend to buy it at a big discount so that I can make money on it quickly, or I can make money on it by improving the property. Let me talk about why that's important. If you are, well, obviously, if you're just doing what I do, I have to buy it at a discount or else I'm going to get slaughtered. So in New York, you've got to understand my cost when I buy something, my closing cost when I buy, my eventual closing cost when I sell, and the holding costs are exorbitant. They're just a lot, right? Closing costs typically on a buy are $10,000 to $15,000. Closing costs on a sale are $15,000 to $20,000, and then I have holding costs if I'm borrowing money in the middle. So it's not unreasonable for a $400,000 or $500,000 house for me to spend over $50,000 to buy it, even if I sold it the next day and it took that person 3 months to get a mortgage, right? If I had 3 months of holding costs, all the closing costs can be significant. But even if you're buying investment property that you're holding, if you don't buy it at a discount, you've got to understand this is something where you're going to put your money into it and you're not going to get your money out. You want to be able to get your money out. So the famous method is the Burr Method. You might have seen this on something like Bigger Pockets, which is buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. It means you get your money out. You refinance and take your money out. But that only works if you're buying it at a significant discount. So let me explain. If you're buying a rental property, and it seems to make perfect sense, and you're going to be cash flow positive, everything's going to be great, let's just say. And you don't need to do any work to it, right? Because that complicates things too. And it's worth $300,000, and I buy it for $300,000. So I've got to put into it $75,000 and 25% plus closing costs. I'm in it for $85,000, and then I'm cash flow positive. But my point is, if you don't have any other money, that's the last deal you're going to do. Now, if you bought that at $225,000 at a significant discount, then you could refinance it maybe after 3 months, maybe after 6 months, once you stabilize it and have tenants in there. You can, and it'll appraise for $300,000. You can get all the money out that you put in, the whole 225, so that you can do this again, right? Even in that situation, you're buying it at 225, you still have to put up $50,000, $60,000. But when you refinance, you can get your money back, and then you'll have a decent, hopefully, decent cash flow. Now, I'm a big believer in not holding properties unless they meet two criteria. One is that you're going to be able to buy them at a significant discount and get all your money out. And two is they have to be significantly cash flow positive. Now, I have a lot of people who I respect in this business who don't really need, I don't need it to be significantly cash flow positive. If I'm $100 positive, I'm good. I think that's a mistake, right? I have owned rental properties that basically were just savings account for the next capital improvement. So it's very easy to buy a property and be $100 cash flow positive, let's say, and you get $1,200 at the end of the year. But all you are is one refrigerator breaking, one roof leaking, one boiler stopping to work, one damage that's maybe less than your deductible from being cash flow negative. So I'm not into that. If I'm going to hold the property, it's got to be significantly cash flow positive, at least $1,000 a month, something significant, um, because of all the incredible work you did. Now, I know people say, "Oh, you can just give out the management to somebody else," but I self-manage my own rentals, and I firmly believe that it's a huge hassle, and it's only worth it if there's a good payoff. That is my thought. So I believe if you're buying investment property, you really should be looking to buy it at a discount. Now, I'm no billionaire out there who's buying $1 billion properties and changing the use and doing things like that. That's a different game that I play, right? There are people who do that. That's not the game I play, right? I buy something, I want to do as little to it as possible. And I want to get rid of it as soon as possible. If I'm holding it, then I want to get a cash flow positive as soon as possible. That's how I work. But there are other ways to do it, obviously, and there are people making billions of dollars doing all kinds of crazy things. So the answer on how to buy investment property is you have to. There has to be some money put into it, but it doesn't have to be your money. Right? So after the first property I bought, the next like 20 properties I borrowed that gap funds. Right, I got a hard money loan for let's say 80 to 90% of the purchase price, and for the 10 to 20% of the purchase price plus closing costs plus other things that I had to put into it, I used to get that money from equity partners. Now, after a while, I got tired of it because when I sold the property, I had to write a huge check to the hard money lender for sorry for all the interest. Then I had to write a huge check to the equity partner. I didn't like paying two people. Ideally, if you find a private money lender who will lend you the entire loan amount and there'll be one person to pay, that's a much better situation. But it got me started, and I got to say, if it gets you started, that's fine too. So if you need to do that, then find an equity partner who's willing to come in and you'll split the profits with him basically, and he's going to fund the gap, right? The gap is between what the lender will give you and what it's cost to actually buy the property. When I look back, on some level I say, wow, how much money? Look how much money I paid these guys. On the other hand, I say, it got me started and got me going. So you have to understand wherever you are in your situation, that's going to determine what you do. All right, so I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in finding out more about a course I have that teaches how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you are interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching that I provide for certain people, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, please click the thumbs up. The likes really help me. And please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say. You can put a comment in about anything. It doesn't have to be about the video you're watching. It can be any question. I'll answer it. I respond to all comments usually within 24 hours. If it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something where I've maybe covered it before in a few videos, I'll send you links to a video or videos on it. And if it's something new, maybe I'll do a new video on it, like today's. So please keep the comments coming. Again, I don't know, I just blank out sometimes on what to talk about. The comments give me topics to discuss, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for watching.